And so one of the things that I do with my clients is really work to change their mindset around food, right? I really want them to understand that food is a life force. It can either produce energy or it can deplete energy. And oftentimes people don't make that connection, right? They don't realize that what they're eating is really affecting the rest of their life. The next category of foods is processed and chemicalized foods. And this is a big one, right? This is basically 90% of what you're finding in the grocery store today. It's what's in the boxes and the bags and the cans and the jars. And it's what's sitting on your shelves. And it's those things that don't look like something that came out of the ground or was grazing in the field, you know, or came off of a tree or something like that. What's interesting about these foods, if you go into the grocery store and you look around, you think, wow, there's like probably close to 80,000 different items on the shelves. You think there's a lot of diversity there. But in actuality, probably 80 to 90% of it is made out of 4 ingredients: wheat, corn, soy, and sugar. Right? So there's really no diversity there at all. It's mostly just reformulating those 4 ingredients. And the other issue with these foods is that most of these ingredients have been stripped of their very critical and beneficial properties. They're healthy fats, they're fibers, they're minerals and vitamins. The issue with trans fats, though, is that, number one, they are artificial, and they have a structure that is not well recognized by our body. So all of our cells have a cell membrane around them, and our cell membranes are actually made out of 2 layers of fat. And we get different types of fats that get inserted into the membrane, like omega-3 fatty acids, for example. You hear a lot about those. They get inserted into the membrane, and they perform functions in our membranes. When trans fats can actually get into our membranes, but once they get there, they kind of muck up the system, right? They mess up the signaling of cells between each other. They mess up the signaling of the outside of the cell to the inside of the cell. They can lead to inflammation in the body as well, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So they're getting in there, and they're taking the place of the healthy fats that really need to be there to do the signaling and do the work. So it's much better to avoid these processed and chemicalized foods that have these fats in them. Inflammation is actually a real, it's a natural process in the body, and it's necessary when we bruise ourselves or cut ourselves. We need those inflammatory signals to go and help us heal. But when it's in a when we have low-grade inflammation throughout the body chronically, this creates a real problem. And it's actually the underlying cause of many diseases: type 2 diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's disease. To age more slowly, to stay healthy, you really want to try and reduce inflammation in the body. And your food choices are one of the best ways you can do that. But the issue for many people is that their bodies have actually lost the ability to regulate their blood sugar because they're eating so much sugar. Right? If you think about it, you get up in the morning, you have a sugary breakfast, whatever it could be, a bowl of cereal or a pastry or something, or a muffin, and your blood sugar is going to shoot up, and it's going to come crashing down very quickly. And your body is going to tell you, feed me right now something that's going to raise my blood sugar very quickly. And the most obvious choice is something sweet, like sugar. So many people are kind of on this roller coaster of eating the sugary or the sweet foods, crashing and going like this all over again throughout their days, and they don't understand how to get off that roller coaster ride. I wanted to go over now, rather than foods that are going to decrease our energy, the foods that will increase our energy. And the first one, by far, is foods that are alive and have a life force. So those include plant foods, right? Fruits and vegetables, which you can see in the picture. Now, if you just look at that picture, right, look at the color there, the freshness versus, a processed pastry or something like that. These are full of vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, phytonutrients, which are very important. Fiber, lots of water, like live water. Like some people refer to the water in fruits and vegetables as very, very different from the water you're drinking from the tap, right? It's actually live water. And the best way that you can ensure that you're getting a real good range of phytonutrients is by eating the colors of the rainbow. So you want your reds, your oranges and yellows, your greens, your purples, right, and your whites. You're going to get all different types of phytonutrients. One really good grain. Does anyone eat quinoa? Mm-hmm. Okay, quinoa is like, this is a great grain. It's a favorite one of mine. It's unique in that for a plant, it has all the essential amino acids, which is unusual in plants. Mostly you get all the essential amino acids in animal products, right? They are a complete protein. There are very few complete proteins in plants, but quinoa is one of them. And this grain is gluten-free for anyone who's eating gluten-free, but also it's so versatile. I will use this as like a porridge in the morning. I will put it in salads and soups. I will stuff things with it. I've stuffed peppers and use it like a rice. I have made muffins with it. I've sprouted it. I've made a dessert out of it. I've made burgers out of it. It's just, you can do just about anything with this grain. It's really very versatile. If there's one food group that we are lacking the most, and one category of vegetables actually, it's green, leafy green vegetables. We don't have a problem getting carrots and tomatoes in our diet, right? You're eating ketchup, or you're eating tomato sauce on a pizza or a pasta. Those, I mean, people are eating those types of vegetables all the time, but leafy green vegetables are the one vegetable that, in general, we are lacking. And if eaten on a daily basis, will give you the most energy. You'll see the most results from adding leafy green vegetables into your diet on a daily basis. They're going to increase your energy, so they'll help in that way. This is me with my two grandsons, Carmine and Antonio, and it just kind of ties together everything that I was just talking about and the points that I wanted to make. I honestly believe that if I didn't have the energy I have, I would not have the relationship that I have with these two little boys. I mean, I taught them how to play baseball. We do yoga in the backyard. We're at the park together. We're riding bikes. And even when we're inside, we're very, very busy. And they, when they come over, they're excited because they know we're going to be busy. They know that we're going to be doing a lot of things together. And it's just, it's that relationship. I know it has a lot to do with the way I feel. And for you, it may not be grandkids, it may be your own kids, but I'm sure you want to go home after work, or you want to, have a nice weekend with your kids where you're engaged and you're participating with them, and you just have a really nice relationship. And having energy and feeling healthy is really a foundation for that, I strongly believe. All right, well, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something today that you can take home.
Thank you.
Thank you.